Queen Esther. No, this isn't a Netflix drama or a forgotten chapter of The Crown. It's the real-life story of a young Jewish woman who rose from obscurity to royalty and then risked everything to save her people from genocide. Before Wonder Woman, before Katniss Everdeen, there was Queen Esther, an orphaned girl with no royal pedigree, who became the unexpected heroine of the Persian Empire. Her weapons, wisdom, timing and courage hidden behind a crown. And oh, the drama! Palaces, secret identities, a villain with a vendetta, and the ultimate plot twist. This isn't just history, it's a masterclass in courage, a celebration of survival, and a timeless reminder that bravery often wears heels and keeps kosher. Once upon a time in Persia, in an age when monarchs ruled like gods and gold was more common than good advice, there lived a Persian king who knew how to throw a party. We're not talking about some fancy weekend brunch. No, King Ahasuerus, better known to historians as Xerxes, launched a 6-month-long royal rave that stretched from India to Ethiopia, boasting all the jewels, wine, silk and ego you could ask for. This wasn't just opulence, it was an empire-wide flex. He wanted to prove to everyone, friend and foe, that the Persian throne was second to none. But even the glitziest galas can end in scandal. When Queen Vashti refused to appear before the king's intoxicated guests to display her beauty, she was deposed in a dramatic act that launched a kingdom-wide search for a new queen. Think The Bachelor, but with golden scepters and assassination subplots. Enter Esther, a young, strikingly beautiful Jewish woman living in exile. She had been raised by her cousin Mordecai after losing her parents. Esther didn't just possess beauty, she radiated poise, humility, and wisdom. Chosen for the harem, she quickly gained favor in the eyes of everyone, especially the king. But here's the twist. She kept her Jewish identity hidden, not out of fear, but out of strategy. And that choice would prove crucial when the fate of her people hung in the balance. The plot thickens, Haman's heinous plan. Now let's talk villains, because what's a gripping story without one? Enter Haman, a man with power, pride, and a penchant for revenge. Haman was appointed as the king's highest official and expected everyone to bow to him like he was the CEO of the universe. But Mordecai, Esther's cousin and a devout Jew, refused. He wouldn't kneel to anyone but God. That one act of defiance ignited a firestorm. Haman wasn't just offended, he was enraged. In true, over-the-top antagonist fashion, he didn't just want Mordecai dead, he wanted every Jew in the empire exterminated. He manipulated the king into signing off on a chilling edict. On the 13th day of the month of Adar, all Jews, men, women and children were to be annihilated. It was genocide sanctioned by royal decree. With time ticking and death hanging in the air, Mordecai turned to Esther, urging her to reveal her identity to the king and plead for her people's lives. Who knows, he told her, if perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this. It was a call to bravery, purpose and divine timing. Approaching the king uninvited was a death sentence, unless he extended his golden scepter. Esther knew the stakes, but courage doesn't mean being fearless, it means acting in spite of fear. She fasted for 3 days, then entered the throne room unannounced. The king extended his scepter, and the banquet plan was set in motion. At the second of 2 feasts, Esther dropped the royal bombshell. I am a Jew, and Haman seeks to destroy my people. The king, stunned and furious, had Haman executed on the very gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. Talk about poetic justice. Purim, the festival of survival. From mourning to merriment, the dramatic reversal of fortune that saved the Jewish people led to the birth of one of Judaism's most joyful holidays, Purim. It's not just a date on the calendar, it's a celebration of survival, identity, and flipping the script. Every year on the 14th of Adar, Jewish communities around the world read the Megillat, Esther Book of Esther aloud in synagogues. Children and many adults wear costumes, bang on noisemakers every time Haman's name is mentioned, and cheer for Queen Esther and Mordecai like they're ancient superheroes. Spoiler alert, they are. Traditions abound. Families exchange mishloach manot gift baskets of food, give to the poor matanot la evionim, and enjoy grand feasts known as Purim Suda. There's often wine, lots of it, joyful chaos, and a reminder that even when things look dire, salvation can come from unexpected places. Some rabbis even say Purim is the most spiritually layered of Jewish holidays because God's name isn't mentioned even once in the book of Esther. Yet divine providence runs through every twist and turn of the tale. The message: you might not see the hand that moves history, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Esther on Stage and Page, the 2025 Renaissance. In 2025, Queen Esther didn't just reign over ancient Persia, she conquered the American stage. Sight and Sound theaters, known for their biblical epics featuring animatronic camels and full-scale Ark replicas, brought Esther's story to life in Branson, Missouri. The production was nothing short of cinematic. Massive moving sets, live animals, stunning visual effects, and original music helped modern audiences relive the palace intrigue and spiritual courage of this iconic woman. Audiences walked away in awe not only of the technical wizardry, but of Esther's enduring relevance in today's world. But wait, there's more. The literary world also gets a dose of Esther this year. In a surprising genre twist, acclaimed American novelist John Irving is set to release a book titled Queen Esther in November 2025. While it's not a retelling of the biblical narrative, Irving's work promises to echo Esther's themes: resistance, survival, and female agency in a modern context. The book reportedly follows a protagonist navigating post-Holocaust trauma, intergenerational conflict, and questions of identity in mid-20th century America. It's fiction, but deeply rooted in cultural memory, making Esther's influence all the more poignant. Lessons from Esther: courage in the face of adversity. So what does a queen from 2,500 years ago have to teach us today? A lot, actually. Esther's story isn't just a religious tale, it's a masterclass in leadership, timing, and moral bravery. She didn't volunteer for greatness, she was thrust into it. And when the moment came, she could have stayed silent, played it safe, and continued sipping wine from golden goblets. But instead, she stood up. She spoke out. She acted. In a world where identity politics, persecution, and silence are still urgent issues, Esther's voice echoes through the ages. She reminds us that our position, whether at a palace or a PTA meeting, can be part of a bigger plan. Courage isn't about charging into battle. Sometimes it's about stepping into a room you're afraid to enter and telling the truth. It's about using your influence for others, especially when the stakes are high. Final thought, for such a time as this. Esther's story isn't over. Every time someone chooses courage over comfort, speaks up against injustice, or fights for their people even at personal cost, they walk in Esther's sandals. Whether through Purim celebrations, theatrical productions, or modern novels, her legacy lives on not just as a queen, but as a symbol of strategic bravery. Her life may have started in obscurity, but her impact echoes across continents and centuries. Maybe the most important thing about Esther is this: she didn't wait for a sign, she became one, and that's the royalty on Queen Esther. From secret identities to saving an entire nation, she truly was the queen of bold moves. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another epic tale from history.